By the review of that, absolutely. Here's one. The computers. Keep the humans going. More jobs for humans, less jobs for computers. And electric cars too while we're at it.
I thought I've won both fights, but then again I've gone home with 2 losses on my record now, so there's not much I can do about it. I can just fight my heart out and do the best I can. But again, I'll always believe until the day I die I won that fight. It is what it is. I'm not going to cry over spilled milk. It's happened now. I know boxing, been in it all my life. You can't change no decisions. But I'll just always feel a little bit hard done by. Not a little bit, actually a lot. But I think when you don't get the knockout, this is what happens. You can't guarantee a win.
We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live, Boxing Ego unpack. Yeah. We unpack. We unpack. We unpack. Coming to you live. And just like clockwork, Tyson Fury complains that he was robbed, and he also cusses out AI after his second loss in a row to Alexander Usyk. Tyson Fury, he came out decently strong in the second fight, and it looked like he was trying some different things, a bit more aggressive, less sweet science, and he tried to put, a bit more pressure and aggression on Alexander Usyk. But as the fight wore on, it was Usyk who proved to be the better man. He was more adaptable. I think Alexander Usyk showed crazy patience. And if you think about it, it makes all the sense in the world. Usyk, former cruiserweight, smaller man. Tyson Fury said, Usyk, you're a gap-toothed rabbit. You're a middleweight. All these things. So you got to take your time. Fury has an insane reach, and he knows how to box. So Usyk early kind of took his time, used a lot of movement. What I really like from Usyk's plan outside of the patience is he just has the will to win. The resilience and the body attack was very consistent. And as the fight wore on, you had a bigger Fury who he just couldn't contend with the smaller man who was giving him angles, different looks, feints, durable, and switching up his style in punches and guards, and it was just all too much for Tyson Fury. I told you guys before the fight that I believe that Tyson Fury made a mistake coming in so heavy. You did that versus Deontay Wilder, and you seem like you try to go back to the same well for water, but the well was dry because styles make fights, and Alexander Usyk, he's just a completely different fighter stylistically than Deontay Wilder, whereas versus Wilder, he's not as capable on the inside. His punches need more room to get those off because he's really wide and he has like looping, swinging like punches, stuff like that. Versus Usyk, he's a compact, technical fighter and a southpaw, so he could thread the needle in a different way. So all in all, Tyson Fury, he handedly lost. The fight started to get away from him. He had little pockets where he was trying to take stands, but ultimately he was getting outworked throughout much of this fight. So for me, Usyk has established himself as this generation's best heavyweight. I mean, he's the one that started at cruiserweight, from Wilder to AJ to Dubois to Tyson Fury. As far as I know, they've been pretty much heavyweights. AJ was a heavyweight and fought the likes of Zhang in the amateurs, things like that. Usyk was fighting Sean Porter at times or Artur Beterbiev. So he's clearly the naturally smaller person. These other guys, minus maybe like Fury, but definitely Joshua, Wilder, and Dubois, they all pack an insane punch. But Fury calling Usyk a rabbit is not really an insult, because the rabbit, as Usyk said, is a strong animal and is very nimble. And that's what you see from Alexander Usyk. So now Fury is complaining. He's saying he won the fight by 3 rounds. He's mad at the AI scoring and lashing out. Now, I brought up Wilder several times in this video for a very specific reason, because it's so funny that old media, the usual suspects, the resistance, when it was a black fighter like Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder from Tuscaloosa, Alabama, oh my God, to this day, and an American fighter, and people felt he was making excuses when he lost to Tyson Fury. That's the gist of it. From people saying the suit was too heavy to Tyson Fury cheated, people felt Wilder made excuses. So I ask you all a very important question. How is it when the perception for Wilder losing, people were like, oh, Wilder, he just can't take a loss. Fury beat him fair and square, and, you know, Wilder's a crybaby. This is what people were saying. But when it comes to the issue of a person like Tyson Fury, and he's not taking the loss with grace, you don't have any of these same people saying anything about Tyson Fury. Nobody's calling Tyson Fury a poor sport. Nobody's saying, oh, why are you crying? Stop crying, quit crying, yada, yada, yada. So when it came to Wilder, he was just expected to take the L and not say nothing else and move on. But when it comes to Fury, both Usyk fights, he has not taken the L with grace. He's cussed people out. He says it was fraudulent. He said he really won. Now he's talking about F electric cars and AI, because the AI scored it 118 in favor of Usyk. And he's just outright mad, saying and going around saying Usyk got a Christmas gift and he was robbed and he won the fight by 3 rounds, which if you actually watch the fight, I don't see how you could have arrived at that score. Yes, there were spots, but you look at the CompuBox even, and I'm not a CompuBox guy where I just look at stats and punches landed and just assume that's how to judge the fight. But sometimes CompuBox is dead on with the type of fight that we witnessed. And in the case of Usyk Fury, Usyk was busier, and that's what CompuBox and all the statistics indicated. Usyk had a higher accuracy rating. I think the body work. When I noticed Fury's game plan in the beginning was working, Usyk put him out of position. In the words of Lil Wayne, I got him out of position like Sheffield and left field. Don't me when this gang thing, man. Right? Fury was out of position, where the stuff that was working earlier, he completely abandoned it, and that's a credit to Usyk. What Usyk was doing was giving Fury problems, and Fury didn't make those adjustments. So Fury has himself to blame. Post-fight, Fury said that, you know, he won and all this. Usyk thanked his team and God and said that his wife helped him train. Meanwhile, Fury said he isolated himself from his own family and hadn't spoken a word to his wife in 3 months, which seems kind of extreme. I understand abstinence and being away from your family, and I know fighters personally that have missed the birth of their children because they're in camp, but to not speak or text your wife for a fight camp, that seems a bit absurd. So I can understand you put a lot of effort into it and really wanted to get something done, but we can't be poor sports when we lose. Everything's fun and games when you're winning, like when you knocked out Dillian White, when you knocked out Wilder or whatever, but you see when he's no longer a professional, his true character comes out. When he's no longer a professional, undefeated fighter with an unblemished, perfect record. And Fury famously said stuff like, no man from his mother's womb can defeat me. All that's out the window. You fought the same guy, much smaller, came in much heavier, and he beat you twice in a row. So I wanted to make this video and point out the stark contrast and the apparent, very apparent hypocrisies that we've noticed when it came to Wilder and how he was treated upon loss and, you know, dealing with the loss versus how Tyson Fury is dealing with his pair of losses from the same guy, Usyk. And again, you see for the old media fighter, Tyson Fury, it's a completely different outcome. People are like empathetic for Tyson Fury and or just not saying anything. They're just letting him have a temper tantrum. But when it was Wilder, they said he was an excuse maker. He was a poor excuse for a champion, etc., etc. Let me know what you guys think. Usyk won fair and square in both fights. And it was repeat, not revenge.